Our etiquette expert, Diane Gottesman, is here answering a few common etiquette questions. It's good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Good to see you.
We're doing, is it polite or is it not polite this morning? These are common situations that we're in all the time, and we want to know. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so here's the first question. We're invited to a friend's lake house for the weekend before summer comes to an end, but there's been no mention of our college kids coming along. They're adults. They wouldn't be any trouble. Is it okay to just bring them? Polite or impolite?
Impolite.
Yes.
If your name's not on the invitation at a wedding, for an invitation for a wedding or a birthday, you would not assume. Same for a verbal invitation. If it was not mentioned, if their names were not mentioned, impolite. And it's also impolite to ask because that puts the host on the spot.
Right, very true. So you just go and have a great time.
Have a great time.
Okay.
Sans kids.
Okay. We've got a friend who's a great guy but spends more time on his phone during our double dates and outings than he spends talking to his wife. We want to say something. Is that polite or not polite?
You know what that's called? I just learned this word. I don't know if you know this. It's called phubbing. Phone snubbing.
Oh,
and
okay.
I just learned this term myself. I don't like the word. I call it cell phone etiquette, but you know, FYI. So I think it's very impolite that the person on the phone is disregarding any person across from them. So I think you can say something, but it would be impolite to do it in front of everyone.
Okay.
You pull them off to the side and maybe early and say, hey, so-and-so, whoever it is, you know, we would just love to have all of your attention when we're together. You don't have to say your wife, in this case your wife, just say us.
Okay, got it. We often socialize and travel with a group of the same friends, and consistently one of our friends starts eating before any of us has gotten our food at the table. Is that polite?
Okay, I think that's so obvious.
Yes.
But just in case, we need a reminder. It's impolite to start eating when everybody else is waiting. However, there's a caveat. If everyone has been served and you are still waiting for your food, it's polite for you, for me, for that person to say, please start eating. And then everyone should start eating because we don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable.
Okay, got it. I've always heard it is bad manners to put our elbows on the table, but on a recent cruise, we saw the cruise director eating with one arm and then an elbow on the table. Is this polite?
One arm, that is not polite.
Right.
So in terms of elbows on the table, believe it or not, you're not going to believe this. In between courses, you can put elbows on the table, but do not, because you just look like a barbarian.
Okay.
Keep them off the table, even though in between courses you can.
Okay.
But 85% of the time, your hand should be above the table. So just think about it. You know, when you think of it, keep your wrist. It's your wrist, not your forearms or your elbows.
Okay, good to know. Just never put the elbows on the table.
The cruise director, he needs a little training.
A little brush up course, right? Okay, our annual girls' vacation is coming up, and one of our good friends has backed out at the last minute. We're losing a deposit for her spa treatment, and now we are having to reorganize hotel rooms. Shouldn't she be responsible for deposits and extras? Is flaking out polite or impolite?
Well, flaking out is impolite, as we know. If it's an emergency, if there was a family, if there was a death, if there was something, we're going to be gracious. But if they've lost deposits because of her and she just decided something else came up, I think she is responsible. It would be polite for her to not only offer, but to pay for those deposits.
Okay.
Because she put everyone in a sticky situation.
Absolutely. Okay, this is a good one. A good friend just called me and asked if I received her daughter's graduation announcement. It is clear that she was asking because I had not sent a gift. Was this polite of her to put me on the spot?
No, it is not. No, you can say, now I could say, Shelley, did you get the announcement that Emily Rose graduated? And you can say, yes, I did, thank you. But we know our friends and we know the motives. And if the motive was, I didn't hear from you and we haven't received the gift, obviously impolite.
Okay, don't do that.
But you could just say, I did, and that's so exciting, congratulations.
Yes, and leave it at that.
Not necessary to send a gift for an announcement unless you want to.
Exactly.
It's not an obligation.
Here's a good one. This weekend we were at a function and someone asked my adult daughter who just graduated how much money she'll be making at her new job.
Oh gosh.
No.
What she said.
It is not polite.
It is not polite to ask anyone what they're making,
Yeah.
regardless of age.
Okay. And finally, every time I receive a hostess gift, I never know if I should send a thank you note back to the gift giver. It seems redundant, but should I? Is this polite or impolite?
So it's a thank you for a thank you, and then another thank you for thank you. It is a little redundant, but it's also polite. So if you receive a gift, you can say thank you in person, and that would be fine for a hostess gift, but it's most polite to send a little note, even a text that says, I love the linen cocktail napkins you gave me. I'm using them right now or this evening. Just something sweet to acknowledge that gift.
Okay, just be gracious all the time and everything will be out, okay? And don't put your elbows on the table.
No elbows on the table.
Always good to see you. Thank you for the information. Guys, if you've got questions, you can find Diane at the Protocol School of Texas right here in San Antonio. Go to protocolschooloftexas.com and be sure you're following Diane on Instagram at Diane Gottesman.